everyone, Phoenix Knight here. Welcome to the channel, and welcome to a new playthrough on the channel. We had Boxing Day on the channel yesterday, including the finals of the Greatest Boxer Tournament entitled Bout 2. So today, we're going to move back to the air war during World War II over Europe/the United States, and the first game today is actually going to be mentioning that air war, and well, in a hypothetical sense anyway. We're going to be playing Amerika Bomber, Evil Queen of the Skies, from Compass Games. In this game, you actually take control of the German Amerika Bomber after the Germans have defeated the rest of Europe in World War II. The last adversary for the Germans is the United States, and this game will simulate what might have happened during that time. So just a little bit of the backstory behind this game. As I mentioned, the Germans have won World War II, except for taking out the United States. So now this is part of that order of business, where in this timeline, the Germans now have a forward base from the Azores from Portugal, and they're going after the United States with it. Now in this timeline, obviously the Germans didn't go after the Jews as aggressively as they did in our actual timeline, so that's why this is kind of an alternate history of that game. But that's enough on the story ramble front. We need a bomber first up, so let's go meet our Amerika Bomber to start the campaign. This is one of the bombers available at the start of the campaign. This is the ME-364 Amerika Bomber that we've got our hands on. Similar to the other games, we've got spaces for our crew and their status, random events, damages might make landing harder, our bombs, basically anything you'd see for a typical plane. We do have our 13, actually that's 13 hits that our bombs can take. I thought it was 13 bombs for a second, but we've also got our weapons that we can use to take out the various US fighters on approaches. But that's a very quick and dirty look at our Amerika Bomber. Now let's move back up top to check out our main shot so we can get everything set up. Just looking at how everything looks in shot, we've got our pilot in shot up here. He starts off as the equivalent as a captain. That's one thing I was checking. Got our Amerika Bomber over here. Dice tower will probably move when we need it. Got some of our charts up here. We've got our position mat just off shot, and our main game map over here. That's similar to what we would have done with that we would have used the mat for in the Hunters, and then I've got our raid chart off shot as well that we will be rolling for targets on. So, with that, I think we're all set. We're probably only going to run like 2 or 3 sorties so I can get the feel for how this game plays on camera, but we're all set to get into this game, so let's determine our first sortie. The way we're going to determine our raid target in this game is we've got our 2 different colored D6. You'll probably remember this mechanic from the Hunters. You've seen it in APA as well, where we'll roll the 2 dice and we'll combine them rather than add them together. So the black will be our 10s die, the white will be our 1s. This would be a roll of a 55 in this case, which would be sending us after Standard Oil in New Jersey. But let's see what we're rolling here. That's a 25, so our first target on the raid chart will be Alcoa in Niagara Falls, New York, and that's in Zone 6. So I'll put the target zone chit down here. Then I'll make some notes off camera. Let's see, that was a 25 we said, right? Zone 6. All right. Now that we've got all that straight, now we can bring our plane into the Azores base. We'll lift off into Zone 1. Nothing happens there. Yes. Nothing occurs in Zone 1. So we'll move to each zone and we'll roll for an interception. Okay, roll once in each zone. So we've got our 2d6. These will get added together to determine if we intercept, to determine if we face anything. So in zone 2, we'll see what we roll here. I'm actually going to move these charts a little bit closer. I'm going to move these charts around a bit so it's not so hard for me to read them. I'm going to bring my logbook over here as well. I'm kind of playing around with the layout of everything as I'm going through. That's a 9, which we already have contact. So 2 P-80 shooting stars. With contact already, we need the combat mat. We're going to need the approach mat and shot. We're going to roll for each bomber. As you can see, we've got approaches 1 through 10, which we'll be rolling a D10 for that, and then a D6 for altitude. 1 to 2 on the D6 will be low, 3 to 4 level, and 5 to 6 high. But if we get a 9 or a 10 on the D10, we won't need the altitude roll. So for the first P-80, that will be going to approach 5, and that will be at level altitude. And I believe we've got chits for level in here. Yes, we do. Then the other P-80. That's approach 1, also level. Okay, so we've got that. Then we get to roll a d6 as well to see if we drive off any of the, to see if our friendly fire drives off any of the, if our friendly fighters drive off any of our opposing fighters. On a 1 to 5, we'll get to get rid of one of them. That's a 1, so I think we'll get rid of the... What do we have on our plane? How many guns can we put at each of these? So that's approach 5. I don't think we have anything that can touch... Oh, yes, we do have some guns that could touch approach 5, but we can put a lot more on approach 1, I think. So we're going to drive off the P-80 over approach 5. I'm just going to make some notes here. I won't need that. I'm going to move the logbook over here. So approach 5 level. Friendly fighters drove off. And approach 1 level. So now we're going to have to fight out the... They're going to move down to long. We're going to have 3 rounds of combat. We can decide what firepower that we want to point at this. I think we'll put the... Actually, we've got our possible turrets over here. So let me organize those. We don't have the atomic bomb yet, obviously. But we have tail guns, ventral turret, top front turret, and nose guns. Do we roll for? I believe we roll for each individual gun that we point at this. Actually, no. That was a dumb idea. We should have driven off. We probably should have driven off approach. Probably should have driven off 1 instead. Now that I'm looking at it, approach 1 needs a 6. Approaches 4 to 5 needs a 5 or a 6. And I can put the top turret and the... I can only put the top turret at... Actually, no, I could put the top and ventral turret at 5. So I'm going to pretend that we drove 1 off instead. We're going to switch those around in my logbook. We're going to pretend that the fighters drove off approach 1, and then we'll deal with approach 5. So, I can't point the nose gun at that, but I can put the top turret at approach 5. Can we put the ventral turret there? Yes, oh no, we can't put the ventral turret for low there. We can point the tail gun. We can't point the tail gun at that either. So I think either way it was going to be problematic. So we're pointing the top front turret at the approach. I need a 4-chit for the top front turret, but we will get to roll. We need a 5 or a 6 to be able to hit that. We always roll first. And we're using... What are we using? We're using a firepower of 6. So hopefully we can hit this. But we need a 5 or a 6 before we get to the damage. That's a 3, so we missed that. That's unfortunate. That's also at long range, which I believe comes with a -1 modifier. Let me just double check that. But I believe from long range... No, it doesn't say anything about any kind of modifier, but the... So I'm just going to make a note here. Turn fire. So they'll get to roll as well. They'll get to roll a... what do they get to roll to try to hit? Of course, it's not listed here on... Oh, I think we just roll the same d6. So they need a 5 or a 6 as well to be able to hit. Which, of course, they get. So a P80, they're going to roll d6 random hits. So we're going to roll for that, and we'll see how many hits we get. We get 5 hits. That's fun. Which, of course, we have our lovely damage chart for that. So similar to what we've done for injuries before in the Hunters, same 2d6, black as 10s, white as 1s. Right, 11 is a crew injury right off the bat. So let's see, what crew... Is there... I don't suppose there's a separate... oh, I bet it's on crew injury. So first we got to roll who's affected and what they're affected with. So we'll add these together to get which crew member is affected. 8 is a random gunner, which means we got a 1d6 for how bad they're affected. Actually, we can roll the 2d6 right away. So we'll roll the black for which gunner is affected and the white for how serious the wound is. Yikes, that's the top turret gunner and he's dead. KIA right off the bat, that's not good. Top front turret, so the flight engineer is already KIA. And we still have 4 more hits to go. I'm actually going to use the D10 to track how many hits I have left. So I've got 4 hits left that I've got to roll for. Next up. $54 minor damage, though the bomber will walk that off. Well, fly that off, I should say. Next hit. $56, that's a weapons hit. Let's see what weapon gets hit. We'll be adding these together. An 11, or that's a 2. Nose guns are hit. Great. Which I believe just wipes them out. I think 1 hit on a weapon wipes any weapon out. I don't see anything about that in here, but aircraft damage. Doo-doo-doo. No, looks like it's just damaged. Which wouldn't make sense. I would think that they would be inoperable. So the nose guns are now completely out of commission. Which is unfortunate. So now we've got our 4th hit coming up. 33 is an airframe hit. Which... oh, here we go. So that's our first hit on the airframe. And the last hit, 36, is a bomb bay. Uh-oh, that could be a problem. Now we need to see what gets hit on the bomb bay. A 9, the bomb bay doors, so they're probably... that seems like it's going to be a big problem, having the bomb bay doors get hit. Oh, there's damage effects on the back, probably. Derp. Ah, here we go. Okay, so any weapon knocks out that system for the rest of the sortie, which I thought. Airframe place a damage marker. Then the bomb bay, we've got to roll to see if they're jammed shut. If it's a 1 to 2, they're jammed shut, and the bombs can't be dropped. 3 to 6 would be minor damage. 5, so it's minor damage. Okay, now we need to roll for... now at medium range, as the P-80 closes in... we're going to roll again. What can we point at it this time? So it's actually at medium range now. Let's see. All right, our top front turret gunner is dead. Can we point the ventral turret at it? No, we can't. We're basically sitting ducks here. Actually, I imagine we can point the top front turret at it again, but I think we've got to have a different... the system's not knocked out, so we'll probably have to have somebody swap in. Actually, probably the co-pilot will move over and fire out of the top front turret. So once again, we need a 5 or a 6 to hit on the top front turret, because I think that's the only weapon we can point at it. Actually, we could point... no, we can't point the ventral turret at it because it's level. So only the top front turret with a firepower of 6. That's a 4, so we don't get the hit. And the P-80 is going to get a roll as well. It needs a 5 or 6 as well to hit. So it gets a 4. It also misses. Now we'll bring it into close range and see what happens here. Once again, we'll point the top front turret at that. So we need the 2 chit. So I'll grab that. We've got the die in there. 5, there's a hit. Let's see if we manage to do any damage to it. With using 6 with using a 6 firepower weapon, we want a 4 to 6 on this one to destroy it. That's a 4, so we did manage to destroy it. But man alive, was that a lot. But we can bring the position mat out of shot and get back to our regular map. Our nose turret being out of commission is very bad news for us, but no help for that at this point. Moving into Zone 3 next, let's see what we roll for an interception. I would welcome no contact at this point. 12 is actually going to be a random event. Where is the random event chart? Now I gotta find random events. Ah, here we are. So we'll roll a 2d6 there. A 7 for a random event. I'm not going to try to translate the German, but literally meaning you have a pig, this is slang for you must have good luck. The player may re-roll any one die or dice roll. The good luck can carry forward to the next sortie, and more than one may be accumulated. Nice. We could have used that like 30 seconds ago, but let's see if we can find that luck roll, that re-roll. Oop, that's probably not what I want. Not in there. I'm trying to find I imagine there's a chit in here for good luck to remind me that I've got it. Schweinhaben. Okay, here it is. Alright, so there's the chit that I needed for that. That will go on my bomber, and I'll make a note. Which basically amounts to no roll. Or no encounter. So Zone 4, we'll move there once I can get a hold of the chit. And after that last encounter, that's very welcome. A 6 in Zone 4, that's another welcome no contact. Moving into Zone 5 next. Seven. We've got two P-80s again. Which means we need the position mat back in shot. Unfortunately, this far out from the Azores, we're not able to get any air cover. We stopped having access to air cover in Zone 3. So, let's give this a roll and see where our first P-80 is coming at us from. Let's see, that's approach 1 at high altitude. I believe, actually no, approach 6 at... Let's approach 6 at low altitude. And then as for the other one, it's coming at us from approach 1 at level. So basically we're looking like a sitting duck on the one coming at us from approach 1 at low altitude. Now let's see what we can point where. So we've got 1 coming at us from approach 1 at low. This is going to be a little complicated one to note, I'm sure, but... And then we've got one at approach 6, also at low. Actually, no. The one coming at us from approach 1 is level. The one coming at us from approach 6 is coming at us at low altitude. Let's see what we can point where. Approach 1, our nose guns are out, so we can't use those. The top turret we can't use at approach 1. Can we use the ventral turret? Yes, we can. We can put the ventral turret at the one coming at us from approach 1. And then the one coming at us from approach 6. The top turret, we can't use the top turret because it's not coming at us from level or high. Can we use the ventral turret? We can use the ventral turret. Actually, we can point the tail gun at the one coming at us from approach 6. Then we've still got the top front turret, which we can't use, and the nose guns, which are out of commission. So I might as well just flip the nose guns and pretend that I don't have those. Now for the plane coming at us from... We'll roll for the plane coming at us from approach 1 first. And this is long range. So we need a 6 to hit the one coming at us from long range. So of course it does. So of course approach 1's a miss. We'll see what the P-80 does in a minute after we roll for the... So that ventral turret should be down to 5 ammo. Then for the P-80 coming at us at approach 6 from low, 6, we want a 4 to 6 to hit there, so that's going to expend an ammo from the tail gun, from the tail turret. So that's down to 9 ammo. That's a 3, so they both miss. Now the P-80s get to roll for their hit. First we'll roll for the one from approach 1. The one from approach 1 also misses. I'm just working on my logbook as well. The one from approach 6 also needs a 4 to 6 to hit. That's a 4, so it hits. And it will be dealing out. Two hits. That's not... Well, I was going to say it's not that catastrophic, but all it takes is one good shot and we're screwed. So we'll roll on the damage chart once again. .26 is another weapon hit. Let's see what's getting hit this time. .7 on weapons, that's minor damage. And our other hit, .44 is another weapon hit. Let's see what it rolls this time. A 7 is more minor damage. So another one that they'll walk off. And both planes move up to medium range. We'll probably run our same turret, same attacks back. Tail gun at the P-80 coming at us from approach 1. Or the ventral turret coming at it, and the tail gun for the P-80 coming at us from approach 6. So we'll roll for the ventral turret first. which will bring us down to... That should be bringing us down to 4 ammo. There we go. It's taking me a little bit to flip it over. Oh, I don't need both dice yet. That's a 6. That's actually a hit. And then with the firepower of ventral turret as a 6, once again we need a 4 to 6 to destroy it. That's a 1, but so it's damaged, which means it'll get to fire, but it'll break off after this. Does it have a separate... We'll use one of the damaged chits. Oh, actually, I forgot. They flip over, don't they? So the one coming at us from approach 1 is damaged. So it will still get to fire, but it will be breaking off after its attack. As for the tail guns, we'll go to work on those. Then the one from approach 6, we need a 4 to 6 to hit there. That's a 2, so another miss. Which means they'll both get to roll for their hits. So approach 1 once again needs a 6 to hit. That's a 5, so it misses. Which will then be breaking off. Then the P-80 coming at us from approach 6. Is a 4, which is another hit. And that will be dealing out. Another 2 hits. Let's see what hits we get this time. A 34 is a nose hit. Let's see what kind of hit we take on the nose this time. Four is the bombardier, which means we'll have to roll for a wound on him. So we're going to have to roll for the severity of his injury. A 2, that's a light wound. He'll walk that one off. And then for the other hit, a 45 is a starboard wing hit. Let's see what that's going to turn out to be. Let's see, 8 is a wing flap. So the flap is just damaged from the looks of it. So we'll put that there. Then this P-80 breaks off because it was damaged in the second round of combat. And now this last P-80 is moving to close range. Now can we point something, could we point the ventral turret at this as well? Yes, we could actually point the ventral turret here as well. So now this is close. Oop. This is close on approach 6, which means we'll roll both of these hits at the same time, both of these attacks. So we'll roll black for the ventral turret, white for the tail guns. I'm just going to make a note of that. What did we say? White ventral turret. Well, either way, black tail gun. So we need these to be 4 to 6. I'll take the ammo away from each of these. The tail gun is going down to 2, which is in here. Okay, so the ventral turret hit, the tail gun missed. Which means we get to roll for the hit on the ventral turret. We want a 4 to 6 to shoot it down. That's a 1, so it's damaged, which doesn't really do much of anything, because it's going to be breaking off after this attack run anyway. Now it gets to roll for its attack. 4 to 6, it'll hit us as well. That's a 3, so it misses, which means it'll break off without doing any further damage. Which can bring the position mat out of shot and bring the main map right back in shot. Now we're heading into zone 6, which is our target zone. So first we need to roll for interception as normal. That's a 5, which is 2 more P-80 shooting stars. Great. Wonderful. So that will bring the position mat right back in shot. That was quick. First we need to figure out where the P-80s are attacking us from. So the first one is coming at us from approach 3 at low altitude. I'll get that moved over in a second. I just need to find a low altitude chit. So this one is 3 at low. As for the other one, that's coming at us at approach 4 from medium altitude, from level. So 4 and level. Okay, so I'll make some notes here. Approach 3 level. Approach 4 level. Now, where can I point? What can I point here? I don't have right waist guns, so I can't point those at approach 4. And I could point the ventral turret at approach 4. No, I couldn't. Yes, I could point the ventral turret there. I could point the ventral turret at either approach. Top turret. I can't use the top turret because we're not at level and high and the nose guns are out. So the top turret... Yeah, the top turret... Actually, the top turret I could point at approach 4. Tail guns, I can't do anything with those. The ventral turret we'll put at approach 3. So now we need to roll for our attack. We'll roll first for the one coming at us from approach 3, which the approach 3 needs to be a 6 to hit. Fortunately, that works both ways. So of course that's not a 6. And then for the one coming at us from approach 4, that one needs to be a 5 to 6 to hit. So the ventral turret is spent on ammunition. Well, down to 3. The top front turret is going down to 5. And that needs to be a 5 to 6 to hit. That's a 5, so we do hit that one. And since we're using a firepower of 6 on the top front turret, that needs to be a 4 to 6 to destroy it, and that's what we want to see. That's a 5, so that one's destroyed. So we've taken that one out. But the P-80 coming at us from approach 3 will get to fire. Wow, that's a pretty... Okay, that's a pretty rough run there. P-80 coming at us from approach 3 needs a 6 to hit. Fortunately, it also misses. We'll close everything. We'll close the P-80 into medium range. Can we still use the ventral turret on it? Yes, we can. Can we also use the top front turret against it? No, we can't. And we can't do anything with the tail guns. So that one got the top front turret. Which means we can only use the ventral turret against approach 3. Just short of a hit. Let's see what the P-80 does with its attack run. It will also miss, thankfully. Moving in close. So the ventral turret should be down to 2 ammo. It'll be down to 1 after this. Which, of course, that's a miss. And then the P-80. Will, of course, hit. Why am I not surprised? And it will be dealing out on its way. D6 of hits. Three hits. Let's see what it gets for random hits. Fortunately, it's at least breaking off after this. I'm going to turn the dice tower that way so I can see my hit chart a little better. Let's see, what is that? A 25. That's a Bombay hit. That could be bad. All right, Bombay hit. Hopefully it does just minor damage. Three is a chaff dispenser. That's a problem. Is there anything special to note about the chaff dispenser damage? Chaff can only be fired from undamaged dispensers, and we have... Great, we have one hit. We have one of those hit now. All right, our next hit. Remember, we've got 2 more hits that we need to roll for. $53 is minor damage. And 36 is another Bombay hit. Let's see what we roll for that. An 8 is minor damage. So our worst hit was having one of our chaff dispensers get hit. But at least the other P-80 breaks off now. So let's bring the situation map, or the map back in shot. First order of business in the target zone is we need to, well, second order of business is we need to see how heavy the anti-air is. Ah. 3 anti-air is medium, and I put my pen down over here. Now, as far as we have that, we're going to roll for the anti-air fire, and I'm going to fire off chaff, which means I have to roll 2d6 for hits, and I'm a -2 since I was able to fire off one capsule of one grenade of chaff. That's a 7 -2 means I'm taking 5 anti-air hits. Let's see how bad these are. Hopefully no whammy, no whammy, no whammy. 13 is another starboard wing hit. Four is an engine. Uh-oh. I believe we're going to have to roll for something there. Engine, yes. Okay, so each engine requires a 2d6 roll. Do we roll for all of them? I think we have to roll for each engine. Yeah, I think so. So I think we got to roll for all 6 of our engines. So I'm going to change some of my notes here. So I've got 6 engines, which means I've got to roll 2d6 for each of them. Alright, I want to see a 2 to 7 on these. So engine 1 has minor damage. Engine 2 that's a 10, that's a problem. So engine 2 is out. So engine 2 is out. Where's a check for that? I'm just going to use an inoperable for that one. So engine 2 is out. Now for engine 3. Minor damage there. Engine 4. That's an 8, which is another one that's out. Always fun. Engine 5. Minor damage. And engine 6. Also minor damage. Now, I believe if the... Or is all engines knocked out? So we have 2 engines knocked out, and that was only the first anti-air hit. That was only our first hit. We still have 4 more to roll for. Yikes. This seems like to me a very short sortie, and probably a very short career while we're at it. Let's see, what's the die in there? 11, we've got another crew injury. All right, let's see who's affected by this one. Nine will be another gunner. So it'll be going after... Actually, we can roll black for the gunner, white for the damage, right? White for the injury. Will be the top turret gunner who was already killed earlier in the flight. So nothing happening there. Our third hit. So we've got 2 hits left that we're rolling for. $63 is a wing root. Where would that be? Oh, so that was just a wing root hit. We'll roll another D6. Odds for port, even for starboard. Odds will be a port wing root hit. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. We still have 2 more hits to roll for. $41 is an electronics hit. Let's see what we lose here. 8, we lose our radio. FUG 29 radio. Which is going to make our life harder, obviously, but the question is how. Radio inoperable for the rest of the sortie. Delightful. No mayday call. Water bailout roll is a -4. Oh, that's great. So the radio is out of commission. And our last hit $45 is another starboard wing hit. Let's see what it hits this time. 3 is another, oh great, another engine hit. Fun. Well, 2 and 4 are already out. So let's see what happens with 1, 3, 5, and 6. I'm just going to refresh my memory on how this works. All right, 6, that's still minor damage on engine 1. Engine 2 is already out. Engine 3, also minor damage. Engine 4 was already out. Engine 5, also minor damage. And engine 6, also out. Here's an inoperable. So we've got 3 engines out on our first run. That's fun. Is that all 5 hits then? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, that was all 5 hits from the anti-air. So now after that, now we get to bomb the target. Which means we have to roll for our we have to roll a d6 first to see if we're on target. A 6 says we're off target. With everything that we've had happen, I'm not at all surprised. Which means we have to roll on... We have to roll to determine what percentage of our bombs land within 1,000 feet of the aim point. We have normal bombs. That's a 7, so... Wow. 0% accurate. That's fun. So that's our bombing run, which was absolutely terrible. Now, I'm going to take a small break, and then after that, I'm voting to take my happy ass home. Now we get to fly what's left of our bomber back to the Azores. I would like to not get a lot of interception on the way there, because we can't take a lot more abuse. So let's see what happens here. Odds are we probably should have bailed out a while ago, but oh well. Let's see, 8 is a very welcome no contact. Zone 4. Let's see what happens here. We're gonna have a very... I would be surprised if we don't have a very rough landing, though. 7, oh my goodness, we just missed no contact. We've got P-80s after us again. Alright, folks, you know what that means. We need the position chart right back in shot. The first P-80 is coming at us. From approach 4 at low altitude. 4 low. The other one is coming at us from approach 6 at level. So I'll find a level chit. Okay, so we've got one coming at us from 4 low and 6 level. Now, what can we throw at these two for defensive fire? Approach 4. We can use the top turret. Even though our engineer is dead, we'll have to send the co-pilot over there again because the nose turret's inoperable, so he's not doing anything there anyway. Then for the P-80 coming at us from approach 6, I think we can send the tail gun at... Yeah, we can send the tail gun at the one coming at us from approach 6. And the ventral turret... we can send that at approach 4 as well. So we'll start off by firing the top front turret, which will have 4 ammo left on it after this. And then from approach 4... So the top front turret's done, or is about to be done. We need a... I don't know why I grabbed 2d6. So from approach 4, we need a 5 to 6 to hit. Actually, I know a reason I could have rolled both d6 at the same time, and I'll use it. So I'm going to roll the white for the result of the attack, and the black's in there as well for the damage if the white one's a hit. So the white needs to be a 5 or a 6. The white one does not do anything for us. Then we'll roll for the tail guns coming from approach 6. That needs to be a 4 to 6, and we'll do the same thing that we did before. White for the attack result, black for damage. Okay, white for the attack result from approach 6 was a hit, and with firepower 6 on the tail gun, that should be down to 6 ammo. Then a black with a 4 with a firepower 6. That one's destroyed. So that was a... So approach 4 low was a miss. Actually, it got... So... Actually, no. Top front turret was a miss. And then we have the ventral turret to fire. Along was TFT miss. VT we haven't rolled yet. Long will be a hit and destroyed. Alright, so that one's gone. The tail guns are done. And then we have to roll for the ventral turret. Once again, that needs to be a 5 to 6. Which, of course, that's a 4. So that one's going to be a miss as well. Let's see what the P-80 does. We'll do the same thing that we did before. White for the result of the attack, black for the number of hits. And this needs to be a 5 or a 6. Actually, we want this to be under a 4 or under. Fortunate for us, the P-80 also misses. Moving into medium range, we'll probably just fire both of them again. So we'll start off with the top front turret. Once again, this needs to be a 5 or a 6. Which that is not. Then the ventral turret. So that should be down to 3 ammo. And the top front turret. Well, the ventral turret's out at this point. Fortunately, the ventral turret's going to go out with a bang because it will hit, but it will only damage the... But it'll only damage the P-80, which will still be plenty to make it break off. So let's see what happens with the P-80. The P-80 will miss, thankfully. Which means it will break off And now we need the main map back in shot. Zone 3 interception. Hopefully no contact, please. 6, thankfully, is no contact. How about no contact in... So we were in Zone 3. Now we're in Zone 2. Hopefully we get no contact once again. Once again, we do get no contact, thankfully. And now we're in Zone 1, which means we're going to try to land this beast with 3 engines out of commission. So we have to roll for landing weather first. Where's the chart for... Oh, here we go, landing weather. So we've got to find out what weather we're trying to put this thing down in. We want to see a 1 to 7 for good weather. That is a 9, so it's bad weather, naturally. Which means now we've got to roll on the landing chart with modifiers. We're going to have a pretty ugly landing because we're looking at a +3 because we're landing, because we have 3 engines out, plus another +2 for trying to land during bad weather. So we're netting a +5 on trying to land based on a 2d6 roll. So this is a +5 landing. This is gonna be rough, folks. Hold on to your hats. Four plus 5 is 9. Shockingly, that's a safe landing. I don't know how we put that down, but we did. My battery died on me, so as I was saying, I somehow managed to put the plane down against all odds. But we were off target, 0% landing, but we had a lot of fighter kills on that one. I think we had to send our co-pilot over to the... ventral turret very early. So he picked up, I would say he picked up like 2 or 3 kills. So co-pilot with 3 kills. And I think that was it that we had there. I don't believe we get any kind of awards or experience, certainly not with a mission failure. So we do get the Iron Cross second class for completing our first bombing mission. Let me see if I can find that. I believe even if the mission ends in fail... Oh no, first successful bombing mission, so we actually don't get that yet. Never mind. So we don't get the Iron Cross second class yet. We don't get the America Shield yet. Doesn't look like we get any kind of awards on that one. That's rather unfortunate. And there's no experience to pick up there. So that will actually do it for this playthrough of Amerika Bomber, Evil Queen of the Skies. Later this afternoon, we're going to go back to the Air War during actual World War II and play Target for Today from Legion War Games. Tomorrow morning, we'll also be having our Friday Mystical Munchies as we have the entree out of the Final Fantasy XIV Ultimate Cookbook, Farmer's Breakfast. Thank you for watching the video. Please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Be sure to turn on notifications so you get my content. Be well, stay safe, take care of yourselves and your loved ones, and I'll be back with more videos in the future. Until then, take care everyone.